next speaker, Andreea Tipau, is a software engineer with over 7 years of background in creating and executing innovative software solutions. She is part of the data science engineering team at GoPro for the past 3 years, where she has been involved in developing different stages of the data pipeline, including data integration, data validation, ETL processing, and advanced analytics. GoPro's mobile app, Quik, picks the best shots, syncs them to music, adds cinematic transitions, and create a shareable video. Their data science engineering team provides insights into the user's experience when they use Quik editing features by collecting, storing, and transforming raw data into meaningful metrics. Andreea will present the end-to-end process of designing and building reliable data pipeline using big data ecosystem and powering mobile analytics dashboard to understand user behavior to drive next-generation mobile editing app. Andreea, looking forward to hearing the details. The stage is all yours.
Okay, so I will give you some context over our Quik app and what is the editing feature. Then we're going to talk about the architecture and go to the good stuff, which is the end-to-end solution we implemented. So our Quik app is made for our camera because our main product is our camera. GoPro is an action camera, and we have a mobile app which is called Quik. This app can be used to upload all the pictures from the camera directly to the cloud. Also, you can use the app to control the camera. And the most important part, which is what is the focus on this presentation, is the editing feature. The user can select some of his footage and he can edit the content, and also our engine is able to generate a video, and they can customize the video so they can keep all their memories. Now I wanted to be very clear on what we can do. So this is a video I made using our engine on the phone, and it's explaining some of the features the user can access. But it should go. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry.
Ce video este? Nu este în prezentare?
Ba da. So this is what you can do with the mobile app. But what is the big data team in GoPro does with this information? Where we provide metrics for the mobile team so they can understand the customer behavior because we want to optimize their experience. We want to understand the editing features performance and to measure the impact on user engagement. Also, we want to see what feature they use the most and compare them. And we want to add segmentation to our analysis, which means we can see the features they use by the platform, like if they are an Android user or if they are an iOS user. We also take into account if, let's say, the user is from US or is from Australia, what they like to use more. So now let's go to the architecture. Our data source is the mobile app. We have mobile events, and an event comes up with all the information related to our user, the project, and the editing stuff. And the event is produced when they save or when they export the movie. So some of the information we have would be like the country, the platform, the device, the user ID. For the project, we know which theme they use because we provide them multiple themes. Then they can select a soundtrack that we provide, or they can select their own soundtrack. They can change the volume. And for the editing part, it's actually a very long list. This is only some of the stuff we have, like adding filterings, like trimming the video, maybe changing the speed, making a slow motion, adding stickers, changing colors for the images, and so on. So all these messages, they come through Tomcat server, and they are captured by Kafka. And to process the data, we use Spark streaming. As a data storage, we use Amazon S3 because in Amazon S3 you have buckets where you can put your information and then you can take it away and process it. For the next stage, for data preparation and for generating the metrics, we work with Spark SQL, and Databricks provides the Spark cluster. Also, Databricks provides notebooks, which are really useful during the development because we can check our work while we are developing. The results are then exported with MySQL to Superset. There we can make a dashboard with all the metrics and the charts. And this dashboard is used by the mobile team in Paris, the team that is doing the featuring part of the application. And they can draw conclusions on what feature they should focus on next. As for orchestration, we use Apache Airflow. Our jobs are scheduled to work every day, and we generate the metrics every day. Now, let's talk about the end-to-end solution. How do we get from the mobile events to the dashboard? Because first we'll have to to capture the events, we have to prepare them, to interpret them, to generate the metrics, and then to showcase them into a dashboard. The incoming events have a very complex JSON format because they have all the information on the video the user is editing. And on the streaming processing, we get messages every 5 minutes, and Kafka is taking the JSON messages. With Spark streaming, we are going to write the messages as a Parquet file in a S3 bucket, and the output is partitioned on an hourly basis. After that, we can start prepare our data. So there is a challenge, the fact that our application is constantly evolving, and that's why we have multiple app versions. In 2022 alone, we have 4 different versions, and if each version has a different schema. So I will show you an example. Here we have the trimming part of the video. The user provides a footage, and from that footage our engine will select some clips. Those clips, we call them highlights. So in a previous version, like version 10, those were the selected clips by the engine. The user can make change, like they can select another highlight, but the time for the highlight was fixed, so it would be like 2 or 3 seconds and that's it. Now in the latest version, we give the opportunity to the user to customize more. So he can come up and select a new highlight, and he can specify how long the highlight should be. He can specify the start time, he can specify the end time. And we also offer an option which is to sync the video to the music. If he's enabling the beat sync, then the specified time, it's a little bit increased, so the video is synced to the music. And well, our team, this is how they get the messages from the mobile, which means for version 10 we have the type, and then we have the highlights when they are happening. And on version 12 it's different, because we have other option like music sync, which is enabled or not, and then we have some of the highlights they excluded and some of the highlights they added, the start time of those highlights and the end time. This raised some issues, because first we have some missing fields in the newer version, and their new fields appear, like those I highlighted there. So how we solve that? We propose this solution where we are going to have base tables that have dynamic structures. Here each table is made for each version, and then we have only one table, a result table with a fixed structure, and this table is for all the versions. So this table unifies everything from the base tables. We talked with the mobile team and we set it some ground rules, so they can never change the header. And then if new fields appear, because we have a new option, like I showed you, the highlight option, they have to come up with a different tag for that field. And all the fields we have are have the same data type, which is string. Why we did this is because if a new version appears, that version is automatically stored, so we don't have any data loss and we keep the data consistent. In the example I just showed you, we will have 2 different tables, and the structure for version 10 would look like this and version 12 would be like this one, so they have different structure. And the result table will have only one fixed structure. In this case, I'm going to make changes to the fixed structure only when I am requested to make a change. So if a new field appears, I'm going to add that. And in this way, if there are any missing fields, they will become null. And this is a good way for reporting purposes. And I have no confusion regarding the information we have. So let's see for the previous example. The fixed structure will encompass all the fields that were presented before in both versions. That means for 10 version on the right, or your left, yeah, the type is not null, and the app highlights, it's not null, but the other fields are null. And here is the other way around, where only the type and the app highlights is null, and the other fields have information. Now that we unified everything in one place, we have to extract all the data we need. And some of the things are pretty straightforward, like getting the information regarding the user and also like for the project. But in some cases, we have to make some work there. For instance, I want to take you to see how we calculate the speeding and how we find out if the user made a slow motion or a speed up. Now, 1 second. This is the feature I'm talking about. Again, I don't think it's showing. Well, In this feature, in the speed feature, the user can select a portion of the video and they can change the speed of the video. It's not. Yeah, but I want to go to the next slide. Go back here. Okay, so the user can select certain parts of the clip and change the speed. When we get the events, we have a list with points, and a point represents the initial time and the rush time. So what we do to calculate the speed is to put those points in space. And then we calculate the distances between these points. So for that example where I had 4 points, we get 3 segments. In the first one, there is no change in the speed. But in the second one, they are speeding up, and in the third one, they are slowing the video down. Now we calculate it and we understand everything we have there, and we have all the information in our S3 bucket. So we are going to use PySQL, and we are going to generate the metrics, and then we are exporting the results and make a dashboard in Superset for the mobile team to see them. So we generate metrics each day, and we want all our results to be filtered by country, by app version, because a new version comes up with a new update on some of the features, and we want to see, is that feature used more than usual, and how people received the new improvement. Then we can also see how Android users behave compared to the iOS user, and so on. I put here a small list of the metrics we can do. We can see the filter usage, the volume usage, the pro speed usage, and the list is actually much longer, but we don't have enough time. And unfortunately, I can't actually present you actual data. So here's an example. Let's pretend this is real. And in this example, well, the mobile team can see which one of the speeding segments is most used. Then if the speed up or the slow motion, again, which one is preferred. And also they can see what is the usage from the point of the platform, from Android and iOS platform. Yeah, in conclusion, what we do here for the mobile team is to help them understand how they should improve their application, and how they can make the editing feature better. We consider this is a very important step, because right now social media is a very big part of everybody's life, and our product, the camera, help people keep all their memories, and we want to be able to help them get to the next step and be more involved with the content they are creating. Now I have some time for questions, but before the questions I would like to invite you on a small game, and we have a few prizes. So please, if you can give me 5 minutes, and then you can ask me some questions. Okay? Let's see how I can do that. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so I need all of you to use your phones, please. And we are going to make this game. Okay. 1 second, because they are picking like the Halloween theme, which I don't like it. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so please take your phones, and you can use this QR code, or you can go to kahoot.it and enter that pin over there. Please try, everybody, because we have very nice gifts. Just put your name, that's it. And the question will appear on the screen, and then you have the option to choose. So is everybody ready? Okay, it looks like it's ready. Now let's start. Okay. Well, who didn't know GoPro is an action camera? Come on. Okay. Next. This is not part of the competition, but please. Okay, now let's see the winners. Okay, so who is the winner? Okay, and the next two? Okay, so thank you so much. You took part of this little game. And if you have any questions,
Thank you, Andrea. Very nice and interesting way to close and wrap up the talk. Now, do you have any questions for Andrea?
yes, please.
1 second.
In?
Industrial field. Industrial field.
What do you mean?
În domeniul industrial, de exemplu, achiziție imagini, data image acquisition or quality control remote.
We are more focused on
Yes, I
on
know.
the use of we use GoPro as an action camera, and in the past years we also been inclined to recommend people using GoPro for like vlogging and stuff like this. The camera is prepared to be used in extreme situations like very cold, very low temperature,
Yes, I
or
know.
deep in the water. When it comes to industrial, it can be useful, but the only drawback would be the fact that the camera is very small and the battery is small because of that. It's like the new model, I think it's can be used like for 9 hours, but that would be a drawback, and I'm not sure if we would use it in
But
industrial
you can
places.
charge it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Other questions? Thank you, Andrea, for your talk.
Okay, thank you very much.
Again, very nice.
Thank you.